The battle over online ads is frustrating for everyone. Users are tired of being bombarded by ads with autoplay videos, pop-ups, permissions, and cursor tracking technology makes ads even more invasive, and sometimes the websites wants us to play whack-a-mole with ads. But it was only a matter of time before someone started thinking how to get rid of this mess. That's the origin of one of the most useful software in the history called as the ad blocker. In this video, let us see what is an ad blocker and how it works. So without wasting any more time, let's block it. Ad blockers are applications like plugins or browser extensions that remove or alter advertising content on a web page. Some of these applications replace the advertising content with something else. Others don't replace it with anything, leaving holes or broken links on the page where the ads would have been otherwise. So, what exactly does ad blockers block? The specific content that is being blocked varies from app to app. Some of them are meant to eliminate all advertisements on a web page. Others specifically block things that could compromise a user's privacy, which includes tracking codes that provides marketers with information about visitors' activities on that particular page or which other page that they look on the same website. Ad blockers mostly target the more annoying types of ads like pop-ups and banner ads. Google AdWords ads are whitelisted by many popular ad blockers since they are seen to be useful, and in some cases because they pay ad blockers to do so. There are two methods used by ad blockers to block pop-up ads. With both of the methods, the software uses a form of regular expression to identify what to block. The first one is HTTPS request blocking. In this method, the extensions listen to outgoing HTTPS requests and block any ads known from the ad platforms. As much of advertising relies on JavaScript ad tags, which pings the specific endpoints of Google Ads Manager, AppNexus, etc., it is easy for ad blockers to identify these outgoing requests and tell the browser not to load them. For instance, many brands that do header bidding, which is a popular method of programmatic publishing to drive more revenue that uses an open source tool called as Prebid. Due to this, the filter list has a rule that looks for the regular expression of /prebid. Anytime prebid is in the outgoing URL, the request is blocked, which would impact any ad exchange or wrap-up setup that includes this phase anywhere in the server request. It is important to note that the software will block anything that is delivered through these tags. If you are using Google Ads Manager to deliver both programmatic ads and internal content, for example, the latter will be blocked because it is still delivered through the same tag. The second method is CSS rules to hide elements. Since some companies display custom native ads through an in-house ad server, ad blockers have found an alternative way to stop these promotions. To do this, ad blockers use regular expressions to identify specific elements and then append an CSS rule to the style sheet before sending it to the browser to render. The rules tells the browser to hide any instances of CSS that matches with the use case. These filters are manually compiled because artificial intelligence and machine learning is imperfect when it comes to differentiating between an ad and an standard promoted content. A list of need to be blocked is maintained through a user community, which is reviewed and then added to the list. Okay, so now we know what is an ad blocker and how does it work. Let's talk about the pros and cons of ad blocker. Some of the advantages of ad blocker includes blocking ads, tracking codes and other third-party scripts, and benefits the users by decreasing the page load times, which in turn improves the battery life and protecting the privacy. Most importantly, they eliminate the annoyance of interruptive ads that makes us go crazy. Ad blockers ensures a better online experience. Some ad blockers addresses malware concerns. An ad blocker can prevent you from falling for fraudulent advertisement tactics. While there are benefits for ad blockers, at the same time, some free content on the internet is financially supported by ads. When a product is free, the website or software runs ads on them in order to support the developer. So now let us see the disadvantages of ad blockers. Ad blocker can cause your web page to break. Ad blockers do not just block ads on a web page, but might also hamper its page scripts. This will corrupt some of its important components, and its functionalities can cause a bad experience for you. You may be thinking that this statement is in variance with the one we mentioned in the advantage, but this happens only when the website is built upon an ad source. Number 2 is ad blocker can mess with your website analytics. Some ad blockers can block analytics scripts, which poses a problem for websites in collecting your visitor data. For example, if a person visits your sites and he has enabled ad blocker, then he'll be invisible for your analytics. So, on to the conclusion. Using an ad blocker can truly serve your needs as an end user, especially when you're sick of turning into Super Saiyan each time you need to close a pop-up ad. However, it also has its own drawbacks that will affect the way you browse your web. In my opinion, you can use ad blockers on websites who have multiple sources of income other than ads. But if someone is producing quality content and fully dependent on ads, you should consider disabling the ad blocker just for that particular site. I guess that's all for this video. Thanks for watching and hope you guys liked it. Comment down below your thoughts and suggestions for our future videos. And if you are new to this channel, a sub would be massively appreciated. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.